Okay, water pumps. We had to get a new pump. This is the pump I put on last time. And obviously this is the pump I put on this time. I didn't remember what brand this was. Okay. And I didn't want to get the same one. But now I realize what brand it is because it's right in the center. They stamped it. It's a GMB pump. What I liked about the pump when I got it was this flange is machined. There was some nice things that looked like, there was some quality to it. It's fully reinforced and blah, 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 blah. What I didn't like is after I had it painted and after it was on the engine, because you can't take it back off. I mean, you can, but the harmonic balancer didn't fit. That's why you have this right here. I clearanced starting from here, as you could see, to here. I had to take off at least that much. This came straight across. So I had to pull off 1/4 of an inch while it was together. Okay, and I never touched it up because you didn't see it with the harmonic balancer. Okay, there's still plenty of meat there for the gasket to bite onto. It's like that much, but I didn't know how much there was when I was doing it. This casting here seems much thinner. Okay, this casting here seems much thinner in this area, and it bows over as opposed to this one. If you look at the overall casting, that casting seems beefier than this casting does. Okay, I took a measurement from the surface, the face, to this, and they were the same. Okay, here's my little calipers over there. Okay, so that's good. I measured the depth. I went around with a bolt saw. They're all the same. That was good because that means all the bolts will be the same. Around where the hoses go is always a problem on the AMCs. This one, I remember on one side, maybe it's over here, I had to grind the casting parting line off. It was really bad. It was like this wide line, all jagged. There was no way it wasn't going to leak. This one, it's kind of weird. This is hiding this, and this is hiding this. It raises up twice for some of the way, and then you got the low area for the casting line again. It's like they're all like that, all really bad. The biggest turnoff to this pump is this hose right here. I don't know if you guys realize how short that nipple is. Look how short the nipple is. Can you get a hose on there with a clamp? Absolutely. But that nipple's short. I know it's a lot shorter than this one. This one goes from here to here. This one's got to be at least 1/4 of an inch better, longer. I know it sounds like I'm nitpicking, but like when I was talking to Ruben on the phone yesterday, these pumps are a pain in the ass to do. Okay? And most people offer the same pump, and the price varies ridiculously. Okay, there was no reason for that pump to corrode. Okay, this I can understand. This was bare metal right here. Okay, and this I can understand. There was stuff like, the hoses clamped here, there's stuff laying there. But there was no reason for that thing to fully oxidize like that. And it bothers me. It bothers me. I don't understand why it happened. Is it my fault? I'm sure it is. Was there antifreeze in the engine? Yes. I just don't understand why it did that so bad. And it's, some of this rust is, look at this. I don't know if you guys can realize how far I'm scraping that off. How thick that is. And there's just something about it that just bothers me. I don't see it. I just see the normal, casting rust inside the two holes into my cylinders. There and there. Nothing out of the ordinary in there. Nothing of this deep red stuff in there. And it's still antifreeze in there. I stuck my finger in there yesterday. You pull out, it's antifreeze. So the cover wasn't corroded down inside the tubes. So like I put something in there that would eat it away, because aluminum oxidizes also. All that looked good. Well, that looks good. It's just like a rust line. You know what I mean? That's the chamber. So, I don't know. I don't know. If you handed me these two pumps, brand new, I'd go for the top one. It's heavier. Also, when you hold them side by side, it's noticeably heavier. So obviously the casting's thicker. This appears to be a heavier duty pump, meaning just a casting. That doesn't mean it flows anymore or anything's better about it. But it's like bigger in all the wrong areas. Like all these mounting things are oversized. This is more what AMC looks like. You can see this is raised up over this. You can see on this one they machined it down. That's how much thicker it is. I mean, I don't know. Same here. If you look around this one right here, and then look at this one. And all that extra material caused problems and everything I tried to assemble in the motor. So I don't know if adding the extra material actually made the pump better, or if it was just a sloppy casting. You know, these ribs are wide and fat. But these, they're narrow and they're rounded over. You know what I mean? And they flow in. These end more abrupt. I mean, look at the curvature of it. I don't know. I don't know which is going to be a better pump. The bearings really never fail. It's the seals that fail in these things. The internals are totally different on both the pumps. The impeller has the same amount of teeth on it. You can see it says AM8 on it for American Motors 8-cylinder. The clearance is nice and tight on this one. But when you look down inside, which I'm not really going to be able to film on the two of them, it's definitely two different things. Yeah. So, and this one they actually, where my harmonic balancer hit, and they did all this to it, you know, it's all thin the way it should be, and you got this thin lip. It's actually a little bump in here because of that, a rounded over bump. As opposed to, I don't think the other one did that. No, the other one doesn't do that. So, I was actually not going to take this pump off. I was originally going to leave the pump on the front cover, clean the gasket where it met the block. Anywhere the bolts went through, I was just going to scrape them with a razor blade, then feather it nice. I was just going to blow some paint on it and blow paint this and just put it back together, be done with it, move on with my life and call it good. And then I was like, let me just pull that off. I want to pull it off so I can clean it, repaint it here, and whatever. And that's when I saw it all. So, yeah, I don't know. Just so you guys do know that different years do have different depths of the snout or the flange, and it's not as dramatic as like a small block Chevy. Like my the '68 AMX, this is a different depth than this year. So, and if you look them up, they're all different years, but most of the changes after a certain year is the height of these. So it interchanges, but these they give you, they're in there somewhere, the spaces, I got them laying down there, different spacer blocks. So instead of making all the different years where this would be this tall and some of this tall, you know what I mean? They just give you different spaces to compensate for them to make one pump, which I can understand. I saw an NOS Mopar pump on eBay, but what made me nervous was it was rebuilt 19 years ago. It was a rebuilt NOS Mopar pump. So I said to myself, I don't know about that. Price is more than realistic, but yeah. So far I've spun the hub. The impeller sits flat. I just want to spin the impeller and make sure this sits flat. If it does, we'll call it good. Put it on, see how it works out. If it doesn't work out, Junior's got his first water pump job. So, okay guys, we're just going to keep working away out here. Okay, it looks like we got it pretty much cleaned, but not cleaned, if you know what I mean. We got the surface areas cleaned everywhere they have to be for everything. Cleaned in this groove, down in the little areas and stuff like that. Now it has to be washed. I'll wash it, we'll scuff it, and we'll repaint it. Then we can start the reassembly process. Finally, hey, hallelujah. So this all worked out well. So this will give me a chance, like I said, to clean out the oil pump again and all the stuff. So, but I think I'm going to take a break. I think I've inhaled enough fumes for a little while. Let's just call it. Before we blow anything or clean anything, I want to cover the car.